Anyway, I really enjoyed that.
That was fun.
I enjoyed that. So okay, so I've watched the video, and I've sort of been a hunter, and I decided, you know what, I might have a bit of a go at that. What do I do?
Right, go on the website www.hftmasters.com.
Put that on screen.
Do that, and then you look at all the dates, and then you think, I'm near to that, or less than 3 weeks' time, it's near to me. Come along, that's it. And that's it. That's all you got to do. And they bring gun, scope, handy, pellets.
Yeah.
Someone will lend you some air if you need air. There's not a problem with that. There's a lot of nice people there.
Yeah.
What else do you need? Nice pair of boots.
Yeah. Went through that.
Yeah, lovely.
Maybe something to lie on.
Yeah, that's it.
And that's literally it.
That is it. And as I say, sense of humour. You need a sense of humour.
Yeah.
And you'll have a great time. You'll have a right laugh. It's £10. Juniors shoot for free. Yeah, because we want to encourage the juniors to come in.
What's the cut-off age for juniors?
16.
Right, okay.
So they all shoot for free, lovely, and it's a tenner for everyone.
So what's the youngest age?
8.
8. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. My daughter's 5, and she's counting the days until she can come along.
Right.
And obviously we're so lucky because we got loads of sponsors, and there's a bit of cash to be won as well, £250. It's lovely. It's wonderful. It's a great day, and I'd love you guys to come along to the next event if you'd like to.
Well, I'd like to. Maybe we can do it.
Well, actually, didn't you mention you're doing one at Rivington?
Rivington,
because Rivington's actually about 30 miles down the motorway. It's one of my local clubs that I go to. Because they have an indoor range. Bit of a plug for Rivington Riflemen. They've got a Wednesday night and Thursday nights indoors.
Yes.
And they're good, really good bunch of lads.
Can't understand
apart from Ian Jones.
Yeah, he's a troublemaker.
He is a troublemaker. Yeah, watch him. But maybe the Rivington Rifleman one.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
Anyway,
well,
that's great.
We'll see you there.
Will you be bringing these guns with you?
Probably.
Actually, that's the thing. Yeah, we should have a bit of a challenge as well with we'll choose each other's rifles.
That'd be good.
Somebody actually said it was really good. Somebody said on YouTube, they said like have it was like a. Do you ever watch Top Gear starring a reasonably priced car?
Absolutely.
They said like we should do that with air rifles. But I think what we should do is you should shoot that horrid Beeman thing.
Oh, go on.
That's beautiful gun.
No, I reckon even with 2 pellets coming out the barrel, it's still.
You're wrong.
You're really wrong.
Right,
okay, well, I'll tell you what, there you go, folks.
That's it.
You are using the Beeman Jewel, what's it called?
Beeman Jewel.
Beeman Jewel.
One of the finest guns out
there. The next HFT shoot.
Yeah, why not?
Right, you've heard it here. That'll be fun. I'd like to see the results. Man, you'll probably still piss all over us, even with something that hideous. But anyway, right, moving on. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
Lovely. No,
stay for this last bit.
Yeah, stay around. Yeah.
Enjoy the deal.
Well, I'm very interested in this one.
Well, you'll enjoy this actually because this is an oldie but goldie.
Yeah, well,
in fact,
really
do you know what? Thank you everybody for telling me that we should concentrate on some older stuff instead of just like all the latest and greatest, because it's been really interesting.
It makes a lot of sense,
and it's really nice going into the shop and going like, oh, what's oddball on the racks, and actually because you were coming as well, I thought this would tie in quite nicely. I saw this on the racks and just thought, oh my god, this is the NJR 100.
Yeah.
And if do you know what? Shall we a bit of a rundown?
Well, I can give you a bit on that. The rifle, I suppose, the development of the Arms Shamal, which was an aluminium cylinder 2-part gun that had some zero shift problems. Beautiful gun, but had some zero shift problems. So they redesigned it into the 100 series.
Yep.
And Nick Jenkinson was their star shot at the time. Still is a star shot.
Yep.
And the Air Arms decided to name their target version of the 100 series as the NJR100, Nick Jenkinson replica. Yep. And a certain amount of these made. Nick designed the original stock, and then I think Custom Stock made a version of the Nick Jenkinson replica stock. However, this ain't one of them. This is somebody else's version of the original Nick Jenkinson replica, the Nick Jenkinson rifle.
This one actually is, funnily enough, actually, I'll just put this to one side for a second. The customer that brought this in actually brought the original Airgun World magazine in, and what's it dated? Is it 1991? 1991. Well, £1.50.
£1.50 Archant.
And as you can see on the front, we might be able to put a close up, but this actually is the exact rifle that was shown on the cover of Airgun World. And this one's a Mark II, and you can tell it's a Mark II because you've basically got a black breech block, and you've also got a little bit of engraving. Now these ones, funnily enough, came. I think the Mark IIs might have all come with regulators, but I think the Mark 1 with the grey, the regulator was an extra, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, at the time, I don't think Air Arms, sorry to say this, Air Arms, but your regulators weren't like... Well, I mean, it was 1991.
Yeah.
Regulators then
and
were...
I think the first year of the NJR was 88 or 89.
89,
I think I saw the prototypes in November 88,
Mhm.
and 89 they were in full production. I saw them in Florida. Nick Jenkinson took one to Florida with Kevin Jackman and somebody else, and they had 3 of these on the farm.
Was it a regulated one?
They had regulators. They weren't regulated by the end of the shoot.
No, they were broken, yeah.
But they certainly were at the beginning.
Well, I had this basically, they did a standard one, didn't they, an SM100,
Yes.
which was in a sports stock, and I loved the idea of regulators, and I had 2 of them that both broke.
Yeah.
And
the trigger on this, the NJR had an optional, was it standard?
Olympic? No, it was optional. I think it was 120 quid extra. Olympic trigger.
Yeah.
And the Olympic trigger is
just that much better.
Well,
that's not a standard trigger blade, is it?
No, somebody's added that little bit of plastic on it, but underneath there is it's an alloy. I'll just move it across so you can see it better. Yeah. This one's got a little plastic thing that's been put around the trigger, but you can tell it's a little shoe. That's the word.
Yeah.
After 30 years, I should know that. Trigger shoe.
That's my job here.
Absolutely. A little bit of plastic thing.
Yeah.
But the standard trigger, if I remember rightly, was curved brass, and the Olympic trigger was
straight blade, wasn't it?
It was, yeah, because the XM and the SM were curved, and they were brass, and this one's an alloy blade. So this one is regulated, and it's got the. So this is really the top spec.
So how much would one of these go for at the time?
845, I think they were.
845.
845. Which, to be honest with you, at the time was hideously expensive.
That is a lot of money, isn't it?
But I think the standard SM100, because they did different stock versions, didn't they? The standard
go on. Do you remember
SM100, XM100,
XM100? Yeah, which had the shotgun style
TM100, which is the one below this.
Yep.
And then finally the NJR.
That's right. Yeah. Because I actually like the XM, but the XM was sort of at a full length. Like snare-ball four-ended.
You never see those. They're incredibly rare. I had the standard one. There was a standard S100 in a beach stock.
That's right. Yeah.
The world's you had hands like a honey monster, didn't you? To fit. It was a huge stock. I don't know who designed that, but it was a really nice gun. And I had the Olympic trigger on that as well. And that was
I had an SM100 in walnut.
Yeah.
They did a walnut version, and I had it regulated both times that it broke.
Yeah.
And then I decided, you know what, I'll just get an unregulated one. And it's a shame, to be honest with you. But the thing is, you live and learn, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, so far ahead of the game at the time.
They were. Yeah. When this came into the shop in 1991 or whatever it was, 1989.
1989. Yeah.
When this came in 1989, it was just people just were like, what the.
The competitions, they were just dominating.
I can imagine, because the thing is, I mean, you look at it now.
29 years old.
And that's mad.
You could shoot that today.
Yeah, that's absolutely.
That would be if that was a good one, and the rig's working, all the barrels are good because they're all Walther barrels.
Yeah.
That would be competitive today.
But you've got an adjustable cheek piece.
Yeah.
Right. Obviously, the butt pad moves about, I'm sure. And this, the hamster there. I mean,
the hamster wasn't standard. The original ones didn't have a hamster. This one's after. I don't know.
No. That was standard.
Yeah,
that was 100% standard. That definitely was standard.
Yeah.
In fact, the reason being that you might not recognise it is because most of the shots at the time were exactly like that, whereas the hamster was always closed.
Yes.
And funnily enough, like when we display them in the shop, I think it's always better to show that the hamsters. You bring it down like that to show that the hamster is adjustable.
But how forward-thinking of them to put a hamster on it like that?
Yep.
That's kind of almost where they came from.
Yeah, I think.
Do you know what? At the time, where the write-ups at the time, people were saying that the stocks were way too deep, even with the hamster in its full position. And you look at that stock now and compare them.
No, absolutely.
Things have changed dramatically, but. Fantastic stock, really useful.
And Nick, when he was in his competition with these rifles, he was hitting everything he aimed at.
I think you could have given Nick a Beam & Jewel, and he probably would have won. To be honest with you, well, maybe not that good, but Nick Jenkinson was a. I mean, he was the pin-up boy.
High-level bomb by Beeman, aren't you? Sponsored by the US Air Force. So they're going to take out.
Yeah, well, Beeman didn't make it. It was made of some Chinese factory. That thing, wasn't it? It smells like
still a Beeman.
Sorry, I'm still going on about that hideous Beam & Jewel. I just shut my mouth. But yeah, I think that's a stunning rifle.
Yeah, look at the bluing. Look at this bluing. It's absolutely gorgeous.
You see, you think about the bluing on that now. I mean, I've had guns that have lasted 3-4 months before the bluings all started creeping away.
Well, Air Arms went through that problem, didn't they, of the bluing being a little bit dodgy, and actually, so they invested a hell of a lot of money, and
well, it was to do with the steel they were using. So they were using a higher grade steel, which didn't take to a bluing.
That's
but they had to work their way around that.
Yeah, which they have, and to be honest, we did go through a period of time where Air Arms guns did rust quickly, but it was only a short period of time, and I think that's a nice thing Air Arms did learn.
2007 from 2006.
Probably.
So, but they changed their procedures, and obviously it's all sorted now.
Well, but now
they've done by another company.
Stunning.
They've moved them in house because it used to be done by Collins, but they've now moved them in house.
I think they are in house.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. But what an absolutely good. I hope everybody sort of appreciates that. I think that's absolutely gorgeous. Think about that. That's 1989. 1989 is incredible. Yeah. Anyway, that is the NJR. Oh, actually, one of the things you mentioned about alloy. I don't know whether you know, but this is a one-piece cold steel.
Yeah, hydraulic
tube.
Yeah.
Wow. So it's lovely, and you've got at the time the little famous swan neck bulb.
Yes.
Which was
an optional extra on everything but the NJR. I think it's standard on the NJR.
That's right. Yeah.
So what was the shot count on this then? Do you reckon?
70.
Yeah, I was going to say
71, 77. Yeah. And while the regulator worked 120. Yeah. But if you got 120 shots out of a regulated one, you've done really well.
And they were a bit blatty as well when you shot them.
But I mean, 70 shots. So you could take that out and use that today easily. Yeah. I mean, easily. Yeah,
and cleaned up and tuned up a bit. You'd probably be competitive with that.
Another thing we'll get on the show, actually, we'll get a GC2 because at the time.
Yes, why not?
At the time, the GC and the NJR.
Have you got any in the shop?
No.
Where do we need to put an appeal out? Somebody to lend us. Has anybody got a GC2 collection?
I think I know a person with a GC2 that tells me about his GC2 every time I see him.
And there was a few Mark 3s, wasn't there? There
was
stainless steel ones.
It's funny because I'm a bit of a GC2 expert. Thank you, Mike Isaacs, because every time I see you, you tell me about your GC2
yeah, he's got Mark
at length in vivid detail, and I know all about that gun. It's lovely. It's nice.
Right. Well, we've got something. I've noticed there's something else that's lying on the camera.
Yes. Well, we had somebody come in on the comments and said, "What about HR81? Can you put
Sterling.
one of those on Sterling? Put that on the show." So when I was down with Bob at City Air Weapons, he lent me an HR81 so we could put it on the show. And there we have a bolt action underlever gun from 1981.
It's lovely. Wow. So basically, there was two of these, wasn't there? There was the 81 with a beach, and there's the 80. Was it the 80?
Do you know, I think we on one of the very early shows at back we had an 83 on the stand. I don't think we talked about it, but this is an 81. This is more like the typical condition. That other one was a bit mint. This one's a little bit less than mint.
Yeah, it's been used, hasn't it? Yeah. Which is okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
So standard spring rifle.
Yeah.
Bolt action, loading the pellet, underlever cocking.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there was nothing really groundbreaking about it, was
there? The price was. They were expensive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they were well over the top for the year.
Really?
But they sold.
People are odd. If you want it,
do you know what? It's something a little bit different. It's exactly the same principle why people were getting excited about Sterling Armaments' new guns coming out. What the hell's...
I don't know.
Yeah, you do. I actually saw the fact that Sterling Armaments looks like
I was involved in it to basically as a face to help them out at shows and bits and pieces. It went quiet, and it's still quiet still. So
I noticed that the Facebook page was closed down.
Yes, yeah.
And I have heard rumours that we're not going to get any. This is so disappointing because I so wanted one of those Mark II services. Yeah. When you showed us them,
they were very interesting designs, but it just hasn't progressed as far as I know. I've stepped back.
So there's a possibility, but you don't know that Sterling Armaments is dead.
I don't know that at all.
You don't know.
No, it's out there somewhere.
Well, that's a damn shame, isn't it? Because I thought the little there was that little 8-shot electronic one.
Yes.
They was just absolutely fantastic. I couldn't make my mind up which one I wanted. Yeah. So I'll be gutted if they don't come out. But anyway, that's a little sort of blast of wind. I presume this was made in
81, 82, 81. Yeah. Right, so a real sort of time.
Yeah.
Right.
1981.
Wow.
Well, there we go. That's the Sterling HR. It wouldn't have won any competitions, really, to be honest with you, and it wasn't as good as a 77 by any means. And that's actually got a bent underlever as well.
The kind of 9 years before
it's British.
77 came out, probably around. I don't know, contemporary for this. You're looking at an Air Sporter.
I think the 77 came out. Was it 84? 85?
Oh yes, it was, wasn't it? Much later, 85.
85, yeah. It's a few years.
Yes, it's a little bit before, isn't it? So not that long.
Right. So basically, I mean, the competition at the time probably would have been the Varrock 80.
Yes.
And I still would have had an 80.
Yes, definitely.
But there you go.
Do you know, can I be sort of play devil advocate?
Yeah.
I quite like it.
Yeah.
I do. I think
there's
it's
nothing wrong with it.
Not at all.
I
They had
like
a big
it
following,
looks
and they still have a big following.
And
they
it's
go
a
for
lovely
decent
looking
money.
gun, isn't it?
I think, yeah.
I like the bolt action.
I love the bolt action.
Yeah.
I think it's wonderful. I think it looks really good.
Yeah.
They just don't shoot as well as they look. That's all.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah.
I think
you
there was a
can say-
design problem with the transfer port, wasn't there?
Oh, right.
I think there was something going on that made them less efficient and probably.
The transfer port was about a foot long or something.
Yeah, it wasn't quite right.
But I like all this. I think the sculpting at
Well, yeah, and the shooting, it's got an idea of the piston design is very different. It's got some stuff going on.
See,
and it's a Roy Hutchins. That was the other reason why we brought it up, because we were talking on the Park rifle.
Oh, we were, yeah.
And that is a late 91 design by Roy, and this is an 81 by Roy. So it's the same designer.
Yeah.
And you can see the similarity because he had the Park running from a central transfer port.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
It's nice, and I like it. I think it looks really lovely. Yeah.
Right, well, there you go. Have we got anything else to discuss? We're gonna let everybody know.
Well, yes, we're going to talk about the competition prize. We've done that already, so we've got. That.
I think actually the competition prize will be on a video.
Separate video.
So actually, by the time you watch this, you'll already know who's won. Oh, it's so complicated, isn't it? So complicated time with the books, so I just don't get it.
No, I think that's it. Pretty much covered it.
Right, well, there we go then. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Thank you very much, Roger.
And you've been able to follow it.
I mean, Roger's actually like, you've come up the M6 today and it's been absolutely
it's been such a laugh.
Yeah,
really good fun.
I know, it's all 50 mile an hour limits and accidents. And
I should have
so
packed provisions for this journey.
Yeah,
it's
so
unbelievable.
We really appreciate you coming up. It's been really
really
interesting actually hearing about Masters, because to be honest with you, a lot of people still don't understand it when they come in the shop, they don't get it. So I hope they watch this video and sort of think, do you know what, that's dead simple. So
if it's anything to do with me, it's going to be dead simple. Sorry, that's the way it is.
Well, really appreciate it.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for having me.
And we have actually, do you know what as well? I had a lot of questions as well from the viewers as well, but we ain't got time, so we're gonna have to do it another. I'm really sorry about that, but we've got some really interesting questions.
It's been a busy show.
It has. But thank you very much for watching as usual.
See you again soon.
Yeah, see you. Bye now.
Hi, I'm Steve from the British Shooting Show. Come and see us in February next year, 2019. We'll have wider aisles, more space, and a bigger and better show. Thank you.